started seeing that now, I think also I have to carry now a knife. Gave the money to me and said no, he sold a gearbox from the stolen buggy that we stole. I think on that was my last day to attend class. I was the one now opening the door, starting the car. Then we drove off with the car. While driving around the Saba, that's where we met the 325 IS. We saw him having a phone that he was calling the police. By the time I'm busy on the bonnet, trying to check what's going on, why does the car doesn't start, the cops were here. That's when we got arrested, the four of us.
Betrayal Corner. Journey into the dark side of trust.
The four of us. Then they took us to, I think it's Newlands Police Station. That's where we were admitted, and then the investigating officer came and charged us. We were taken to Westgate Court. We got, me and my friend, we got 2,000 bail. The two ladies got free bail. The other girl, her father was there, he signed for her, she got out. The other one, there was no one from her family's side, so no one would sign for her, so she couldn't go out. So me and my friend, there was no one in court. We were remanded to custody, which is Sun City Prison. So it was the first time now being arrested. And now in the truck, when we were loaded in the truck that was going to take us to Sun City Prison. Sun City Prison basically is Johannesburg Correctional Services. So there's awaiting trial and serving inmates. So, hey, and in the underground in Westgate Court, people were robbing others now. I was exposed in another life, in another world now, because now there was gangsterism, the 28 gangs, 26 gangs. I don't know, they call themselves, a lot of things. So they were robbing people off their staff chains. People with belts, shoes were taken. Hey, okay, luckily at the time, we coming back from the court downstairs, and then our names were called. We took fingerprints, and then the truck was already there. So we were taking inside the car. Even in the truck, going to Sun City Prison, it was so rough, rough. People were beaten. And then, I don't know whether everybody has an angel that he goes with. I think my guardian angel was with me, because nothing of me was taken. I was even beaten. We got to Sun City, we were admitted. So in Sun City, when you are admitted, even if you come at 9 o'clock in the morning, you would stay. There's these cells that are called cages. They are made of baskets. You stay there from 9 in the morning until 8 o'clock. And there are no chairs or anything. You stand in your feet. So that all the courts of Gauteng come back to prison. Then you are being counted, taken now to the main cells where you will be admitted. So now, prison at that time was so rough. Even now it's rough, but then it was so hectic. Word of the day: you don't want to find yourself in prison. Meaning, don't do crime. It is not for you, it is not for anybody else. Because even those you see on the streets, they're acting bossy, they think they are big shots in crime and so on and so forth. Hey, prison is not meant for human beings. I don't think, animals can be in prison, because even in your yard, you have your dog, it's locked up. It's always in the cage, it's always in the box. So maybe an animal can live there, but it's not for human beings. The life in prison, I don't want to dwell into it too much, because I don't like talking about prison. It's like I'm encouraging people that when they get to prison, they mustn't do this, they mustn't do. No. don't go there, don't do crime, don't go there. It's not for you, it's not for anyone for that matter. So yeah, it was so rough, because even if you get robbed in prison, you take a complaint to a warden, a cop. The cop will just slap you. The inmate slaps you, you take a complaint to a cop, and he traps you too. You're telling a cop that I'm being robbed, he robs you again. Or he goes to that person, they finish their talks, the other side. It's like you've never even taken out the complaint. So there is no one. In prison, you are alone. So I don't want to go into that too much, but I was reminded for a month. In those years, cases wouldn't take long like now. You arrested for car theft, there's no bail. You go in court attending for 2 years. That time, 3 months, 6 months maximum, your case is finalized. Either you're out or you're in. So I attended the first time, and then when we were busy stealing outside, there was an older man who were buying stolen cars. He was owing us 2,000 rands. With my other friend that is not arrested, not with the one that I'm arrested with. So that other friend, I got a chance to get visit. I told my mom to tell that other friend to go and collect that money so he can come and pay me. That friend of mine was loyal. He went and collected the 2,000 rands. He took it to my parents' house. My parents came, and on another appearance, second appearance in court, they came and bailed me out. And then while I bailed out, I still remember I bailed out on a Thursday. The very same Thursday, I didn't sleep at home. I went back to Hillbrook. We stole another car. A GLI 16 valve twin cab. Now it was another car of the year. Then I came to the location the following day, was on the Friday. And then while I was in trial, I met the big shots now who now were stealing bigger cars, who would now change engine numbers and VIN numbers and number plates and even the license to now they would have turned they can manage to turn a stolen car into a right car by tampering with the engine and the VIN numbers and so on. So now the knowledge of cars had grown to me, and the people now knew me now. Even in prison now, I've met the bigger shots. So when I stole this car, there was a guy that I was with in prison that we exchanged addresses and so on. When I bailed out, his case was finalized and he was taken out. So when I stole this car, when coming back to the location, I met this guy. He was driving a BMW, and that BMW was straight. It was stolen, and then he turned it into a straight car. When he met me driving this car, he wanted this car in exchange for the straight one. Who wouldn't agree to that? Giving somebody a stolen car and the person gives you a straight car. I took the BMW, I gave him that GLI twin cab, but it didn't last because I got the car on a Friday. On a Saturday, something very bad happened that I wouldn't like to go into detail about it. Something very bad happened after that happened. In fact, I was involved in not a big but a huge accident. And then I was arrested on that Friday because even myself, I got myself very injured. I was so badly injured. I got myself into hospital, and then cops came. After I was treated in hospital, cops came. They charged me for malicious damage of people's walls, cars, and then I went to court. They said 1,000 bail. So my mom was so angry that he had just bailed me now. I'm back. Even the inmates were shocked that this man got out last week Thursday. Next week Tuesday he's here again. Like the bed that I slept in when I first came in. When I came back, I got this very same bed. Because at that time, prison didn't have, what do you call it? There were not many people who were doing crime at that time, because now people were scared of the white Africans. They would shoot you to kill if found stealing a car or robbing or doing anything. So in a cell at those years, I remember if we had 44 beds, 24 up, 24 down, you would find in the cell there are 14 inmates. There are beds who are free, not like now. Now it's 44 beds, 24 up, 24 down, but you find inmates 110 in a cell. Others sleeping in the toilet, so it's ugly, it's very ugly. So I stayed again, but because of my parents have heard that I was very badly injured, so they said, now let us bail him out. So they took their money and bailed me out. And then, things would, at that time it was so easy to can smuggle cases and so on and so forth. I think somebody suggested that, no, let's talk to the court and so on and so forth, and then whatever it was arranged, and we took the case was acquitted. So, all right, coming back now, I know more, and I'm craving for more. So yeah, crime. But my crime is to steal cars, and not in the black communities, but in the white communities. So now, like, I'm on another level now. I even know now how to change a stolen car into a right car. So I would do it myself, because I knew people who do those things. So I would steal a car. Maybe the guy who does that says to me, give me this one, and when you come with another one, I'll make it for you. So I would do the steal, give him. When I steal for the second time, he does it. I don't know what does he do, but he tells me that the car is all right. And when I'm driving around, the police stops me, they check the car is all right. So I don't know what must I call myself, a champ or what. But remember, this is crime. You can never be a champ on crime. In crime, it's either you end up in a wheelchair, or you end up being very badly crippled, or you end up in the grave early, even before your time to die. So yeah, it went on and on and on and on. But I enjoyed crime at that time. It was like a game. But now, on the other hand, I was so scared of getting arrested. Like I was like I'm two. On the other hand, I'm scared of going to prison, because it's a hell on earth. And on the other hand, it's nice to steal. So I was stealing. But with this guardian angel of mine, I wouldn't get arrested for a very long time. So you can imagine how many cars did I steal? How many people I have hurt? And even my parents, they brought me up in this world and grew me up not to be a criminal. So I hurt a lot of people. I've hurt myself, because it wasn't nice to can steal. You know that when I'm stealing, I might get shot. Or when I'm arrested, those cops are gonna beat the hell out of me. And on the other hand, the gangsters in the location are being jealous of you, because you are a small boy. They want to take advantage of you, maybe rob you this car or anything. So your life is in danger, and in all spheres of life, your life is in danger. And you're endangering other people's life also. So, as I say, crime is not good for anyone, even yourself. So it went on and on and on and on until I got arrested badly in a robbery. Now we robbed some white men in Freestad, somewhere in Northwest, and then we got arrested so bad. Now I'm far away from home, more than 200 kilometers from home. There's nobody who can come and visit me. I'm struggling in prison. I'm far away. I don't know anyone. Nowadays prisons are having cell phones. Then there was no cell phone, no phone card. So I was struggling, and we stayed there. Me and my accused, we stayed there for about 7 years. Trial. A lot has happened during that time. That was when I started to say, no. The life that I chose, I did is not the right. Because now I was clever at school, I was doing good. Even my mom used to say, Wena, you should have finished school and went to college to take a lawyer or something. Because what you put yourself in now, look at yourself. You are in deep shit. While I was in trial, it was 3 years. I met some guys who said, hey man, they were arrested for many cases. Then they said, hey man, we want to escape. So we planned our escape. Because now I couldn't stand the life in prison. That's why I decided that no, these guys are saying they have a way of escaping. Let me join them. Because now it was very rough. Hence I say prison is not for human beings. Maybe animals is. It was ugly. That's when I started even crying at night. When I think I had already had a child by then. And I left him, he was so small, maybe 2 years old. Her mother, we separated because of prison. I lost everything. I even, at some stage, I didn't even have money for a lawyer or an advocate for that matter. I ended up using a state lawyer, and now I was promised that I would be given 35 years if I was found guilty. So when these guys, they said, hey, let's escape, I couldn't stand there. I said, let's escape. We tried. I joined them. We escaped. But little did I know that what we are doing now is even worse than what we did that brought us into prison. Because we were arrested later on. The people easily can identify you that you don't come from this place. By your clothes, by the way you talk. So even the cops, when they move around asking people, hey, didn't you say a guy? It's easy people to say, there's a guy who passed there who was asking where can he get taxis to Gauteng and so on and so forth. So I got arrested. I was beating the hell out of me. Now remember, what made me to join these guys to can escape was that I couldn't handle the pressure of prison. So now, you can imagine, now I have 2 cases now. The one that brought me to prison and now the escape case that went on for 3 years. And on the other hand, I'm attending now 2 cases. I'm attending the escape, I'm attending the robbery. It took the whole 7 years of my life that was wasted during that time. People are fighting, people are stabbing each other every day. Cops are beating up people. Now I'm involved in an escape case. Like my head now is fucked up. So now life is even more difficult now. I'm attending 2 cases. I'm mixed up. I don't even have money for lawyers. No visits. People come once in a while, maybe twice in a year, because now it's far. You have to now budget for toiletries and whatnot. And on the other hand, the child is growing, you're not there. Like you hurt a lot of people, including yourself. Luckily, by God's grace, the case that brought me into prison, the robbery one, it was acquitted after 6 years from 2000. In 2006, it was. Remember, in 2000, I was arrested for robbery. In 2003, I did an escape, and then I continued to attend these two cases. In 2006, the robbery case, we were 4 on the case. It was acquitted. The 3 guys went out, and then I stayed behind because I had now the extra case of escape, and that case now gave me 18 months. 18 months, I served half of the sentence, and then got out. I didn't want anything to do with friends, with everything. I started looking for a job. Life is pretty hard, not too hard. Not even very hard. Life is very hard. I started looking for a job. I couldn't find one for something like 8 months. And 8 months without having something, while you know yourself you are a big shot, it's very hard. I relapsed back to crime. I started another hijack. Some other guys came with guns with 1, 2, 3 hijacks. I got arrested. I think the same year. And then I attended the case. First appearance, second appearance, did bail application. I got a bail. Because of the hijacks that I did before the one that arrested me, I saved some money and managed to buy me some 1-2 clothes. So they gave me 10,000 bail. I bailed myself out. After bailing myself out, I stayed something like, I think, 8 or 10 months out without doing nothing. Like sitting now thinking to myself that, hey, what's happening? Because when I was in prison, I said, I'm not doing this again. And then when I come out, nobody wants to help me. I can't find anything to do so that I might support myself, my child, my family. So now I'm back to this life. Here again, I'm arrested. What if here I get sentenced? What's going to happen to me? My life is finished. I stayed not doing anything. I attended. They sentenced me. That court for this hijack. They sentenced me. I was sentenced to 23 years. I went back to Sun City prison now, but being a sentenced inmate. When I got there now, because now I was a very well-known person by then. Now grown up, everybody knows me. So I got my homeboys there. They told me that in prison you need this, like general stuff, like your head clip, your kettle, your iron, because now you're not awaiting trial anymore. You're now sitting here waiting to be released after I had 15 years. And I thought after the 20 years, I thought I was going to stay that time. Then they recommended me to write an appeal. I did that. It went to the court that sentenced me. Hey, but that time, no. I was hurting even more than the time I was in the case of the robbery case that I tried for 7 years. Luckily, I don't know, my guardian angel made me to get a job in prison. I worked in prison as a cooker. Because now I was a Muslim, I was a cooker for the Muslims. So I worked. After, I think, 9 months, the court called me. My appeal was denied from the court that sentenced me. I was even more hurting. Then you must know, in prison there are those fights that are there every day that I don't want to talk about. There are those gangsters. They are there. Everybody's talking about them in the internet. I don't want to dwell on that. And then I did a petition to the High Court. And then the results came back that I was granted not on conviction, but on the sentence. And then my case will be heard, but they didn't give me the date of the hearing yet because there was a queue, so I had to wait. Then during the time, some guy which favored me, I don't know how, I didn't even know the guy. He came just to me and said, "Do you want a job?" I said, "I'm working as a cook." He said, "No, do you want a job at the offices?" I said, "Yes." He says, come with the 100 rands and your ticket. I gave him the 100 rand. I didn't ask this for what, but I thought maybe, obviously, I'm buying this job. We went to the offices and then we gave the wardens in the office my ticket. They checked my ticket that I qualified to work there. They said, no, I qualify. So now I was exposed. My life was now being better. There's nothing better in prison, but now it was better because now I would do photocopies for prisoners. I would talk for them in the office so that they may be seen for recommendation to can get parole. There's a little bit of corruption that was happening that I wouldn't go into detail. But my life was a bit better because I would visit myself in prison because now it's smuggle those little things and get my money so I can buy myself cigarette, I can buy myself, there's other stuff that I need. And then I didn't engage myself into gangsterism. I didn't engage myself, and most of the time, 90%, I was at work. I only came back to the cells when I'm going to sleep. And then there was a course that I did, that I took, a horticulture. I did horticulture. Many people know agriculture. I did horticulture. I did permaculture, which involves landscaping, crops, fitting in irrigation system, fitting pavements, and so on. I did that course, and I was doing great. I ended up facilitating the next class while working in prison at the offices. So now I was busy in prison. I didn't engage too much in nonsense or stupid things. And then my time came in court. My case was, the hearing went on, and then my sentence was reduced from 23 years to 12 years. And at that time, I remember I had already served 4 years in prison. And then the president that came in that year, he gave out amnesty of, I think, 6 months for robberies and 24 months for those minor crimes. Then I got the 6 months again, then it reduced. And then when the appeal came back saying my sentence was reduced from 23 years to 12 years, remember in South Africa you have to serve half of your sentence, of which my half of my sentence is 6 years from 12 years. So I had already served 4 years, 6 months. So I left with 18 months. So I stayed that 18 months, got out of prison. And then when I got out of prison, that's where I decided that no, because now I was deep into Islam. And then there was this new masjid that was built next street of mine. I most of the time, I made sure that I go to the masjid, I pray until I find myself jobs, little jobs. I'm painting there and there, putting tiles there and there, closing roofs, leaking roofs. So like I was working part-time jobs, but I was starting to live like a normal person. And the moral of the story is, don't do crime. Crime is not good. Don't follow your friends like I followed my friends. I didn't have the pressure to can go steal because at home there was no food. No, I went to go steal because I thought maybe it's nice. By following friends, I wanted to be involved or to hang around with those friends, and those friends were stealing cars, like I said. So I ended up following friends which are not good. Gambling is not good. Crime is not good. Drugs is not good. Alcohol is not good. So you end up your life being messed up in a cell or in a grave or being a crippled or a disabled person for that matter. So take care of yourself. Respect your elders, not only your parents, any elderly person. Take care of yourself. Life comes once. Stay a healthy life, a healthy mind. Go to gym. Listen to your parents. Listen to your school teachers. Follow your dream. We all came with dreams in this world. We all came having something in our heads. Use it.